Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. I'm getting ready to get into the beehive today. Into all three of them, hopefully, but mainly the biggest one. I want to check and see what's going on inside, and I want to try to harvest some honey. I want to check out and see how the hives are doing. Pretty soon it's going to be time for treatment, and once I give them treatment, I won't be able to harvest any honey. I'm going to go in, check and see what there is to see what's going on, and proceed accordingly. I cut this open right here to keep them busy and occupied, and I took 5 frames of honey. I'm going to leave these empty frames in here, but I'm not going to take this in case there's a dearth and they'll need something to eat. I'm going to leave these frames here. But so far, everybody looks good and healthy. It's July. We are not going to put another super on here. I put empty frames in there, and they're going to be good. We'll keep an eye on them. And then the next time we get in, we're going to take it all the way down to the brood box and then treat for mites. This is our swarm hive, and I noticed that it has not been as busy, so I'm not sure how they're doing in here, but we will check and see. We may take this super, or we may have to continue to feed them. I haven't been feeding them, so that might have something to do with it. Feed these guys. These girls need some nourishment. They've got a nice little start here, but it is already July, and I need them to fill this out because they're not going to survive the winter. So we're going to put the feeder back up here. Okay, get over there. And we're going to make a lot of sugar for them. And from now on, we're going to be feeding these guys every day. I am a sweaty mess, but I'm going to go inside and put some cooler clothes on, and then we're going to go ahead and harvest that honey. We're going to process that honey that we just got from the hive. All right? We used to process it by cutting the caps off and then scraping the honey and putting it into cheesecloth and then letting it drain into a bucket, which was, it worked, but it wasn't the most efficient way to do it. And now that we have 3 hives, Mr. Steve and I decided that it would be okay for us to make an investment in a honey extractor. Now we got a pretty big one. This one can hold 4 frames at a time. We'll take off the caps off the frame. We'll stick them in the extractor. It'll spin and spin, and the faster we spin it, the more the honey is going to fly out of the comb and into this can. These are heavy. All right. Now these frames all have honey. And what I'm going to do when I am done putting them in the extractor and we've extracted all of the honey, what I will do is I will keep the frames and I will either wrap them up or keep them in the bucket until I have a warm day to go out, and I will exchange these frames for some of the other frames in the hive. So we'll just make an exchange. And this will, then the bees will continue cleaning up the honey off of these frames. Let's see. Well, we will plug in the knife and then we'll see how this works. I don't know if it gets how, there's no on or off switch on it. So I imagine once you plug it in, it's on. So you gotta plug it in and plug it out. We have an outlet right here. I'm going to do this in the sink to try to cut down on the mess, and because the sink is nice and low. This has just a little bit of honey in it, not much. Oh yeah, that's cutting through real nice. And I'm just going to put the cap in this bowl. very closely. Look at that. Wow. That is something else. I have all of this from capping the honey, from taking all the caps off of the honey, and I'm going to transfer it into a bowl that has a wire strainer and some cheesecloth. And I put the cheesecloth on there so that I can keep the wax, plus I can squeeze it a little bit to get more honey out of it. And this, I'm just going to go ahead and spoon it over there. Let me get my spoon. And honey is a sticky, sticky mess. Dealing with honey, sticky, but delicious. Now that I have all the cappings in my cheesecloth here and in my strainer, I'm going to use this bucket you can see all the honey that's already in the bowl, and I'll use this bucket to capture any honey that drips out. And then I can push this down a little bit. And squeeze more honey out. See that? And this we can go ahead and put in a jar. So we'll have, our counters are going to be full. And I scraped every bit of honey I could out of here. And it's pretty easy to clean up because it's just sugar. So, you see, our honey, the color of honey depends on what the bees are eating. And our honey is always very yellow. Well, that was a lot of work, but it was really worth it. Harvesting something like that, like your honey or your garden, harvesting things from your garden, it's so satisfying to do that. even though it is a little bit harder than just going to the grocery store and getting it. And here's our first jar of honey. It's a little bit bubbly right now because I strained it through the strainer and stuff, so it's it'll settle down and the bubbles will go away. Or you can skim them off the top. But we're very excited to start harvesting our honey, and it's just that time of year where you start harvesting things. It's hard to believe. It seems like it was just spring, like we were just doing things outside for spring, getting ready to plant things and do things. And here we are, midsummer already. Time goes by really fast. It really does. And I know that's an old cliche. It is. It's an old cliche, but it goes by very quickly. Spend it wisely. And speaking of time, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you spending your time watching me here on Miss Annette's Little Farm in the Big City. Thank you so much. It means the world to me that you're on the other side of the screen watching me do what it is that I do. Thank you so much. Try to get outside today if you can. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. I know you are. I know you are.